'53, Mary and I went back to Africa. Oh, we'd set out on a sightseeing trip to fly over Murchison Falls. Now, that's a beautiful place, drunk or sober. We were circling around to take some photographs when a flight of ibis came up from the plane. The pilot, he tried to dive underneath them and clip the telegraph wire, and we had to crash land. Now, we weren't seriously hurt. It took us about a day to walk out of there. We got down to the river. A boat was coming down the river. We asked them if they'd take us to Butiaba, which they did. We got there the next day. When we got there the next day, we discovered that an airliner had flown over the crash site, and they had reported there were no survivors. My goddamn obituary ran worldwide. Friends and passing acquaintances, and I mean passing, were writing of their stories about their encounters with the great man, me. Well, as Mark Twain once said, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated, as have reports of my life been greatly exaggerated. Some of the obituaries alluding to my sporting life and war experiences, they claimed that I had always sought death. You assholes. Can one imagine if a man sought death his entire life, he couldn't have found her by the age of 54? But I was barely hurt. Oh, but there's more to the story. The next day, we were trying to fly out of there, and the plane crashed on takeoff, exploded into flame. Damn near killed all three of us. The pilot got Mary out through the window, but because I'm so big, I had to break my way out by butting open the door with, what else, my head. Fractured my damn skull, got burns, crushed my vertebrae, ruptured a bunch of organs. Lost my hearing in one ear. It's hell getting out of a burning plane. Thankfully, Mary, she wasn't hurt bad. She had some bruises and some busted ribs. Me, I never fully recovered from my injuries, but I was on my feet. Now, here's the capper. For 3 days, I had a permanent erection. Doctor said it was due to my 12th vertebrae being pinched in when we crashed. Valuable bit of medical information to have on the file. 1954, I was honored with the Pulitzer Prize and the Nobel Prize for the Old Man and the Sea. Now, I know, I had often referred to it as the Ig Nobel Prize, and I professed disdain for the Nobel Prize in literature, but that's only because most recipients never wrote another worthwhile thing after getting it. But I have to admit, I was damn pleased to get it. It's been a long time coming. Time and again, Hollywood turned my fiction into films. Farewell to Arms, Sun Also Rises, To Have and Have Not, Killers, Whom the Bell Tolls. Turned two of my best African stories into movies. The Macomber Affair, their title, not mine. And The Snows of Daryl Zanuck, my title, not theirs. Made a movie out of The Old Man and the Sea with Spencer Tracy as Santiago. I don't know about that. Money was good, though. Paid me $150,000. I told the producer, Leland Hayward, that no movie ever made with a goddamn rubber fish would ever make a dime. He used one anyway. Hollywood always screwed up my stories. The only one I ever liked was the first of Farewell to Arms. Starred my old shooting pal, Gary Cooper. It was pretty good. But they redid it. Crap. Total crap. Which I received nothing. It was all sold outright. Ingrid Bergman once told me that she read the movie version to The Snows of Kilimanjaro, and there was only one minor alteration. The man lives instead of dying. think we must look upon that as a minor change, don't you? After I won the Nobel Prize, my life became like a zoo at feeding time. Wire services, newspaper, magazine writers, radio and television interviewers, all of them wanted to stick a camera or a microphone in my face and ask me some dumbass question. I had become larger than life. People wanted to take their picture with me. They wanted me to give them my autograph. Friends would just drop by and stay all night. I didn't mind that for some of them, dropping by and staying all night, but it just made trying to work impossible. Fame is not all it's cracked up to be. They, them, you, all of you used me up. First, one must endure. My mantra. I wanted to be the greatest writer of my generation. I wanted my writing to last forever. I wanted to live the strenuous life of Teddy Roosevelt. And I achieved all of this through my own effort. The American public turned me into an icon, a representative of a writing style or a lifestyle that they envied, desired, admired, and knew they would never have. I took the risk the public couldn't afford. I played the game the public didn't have the skills for. I took the hurts the public avoided. And I wrote the stories that moved them. So whether you admire me or not, I'm an authentic artifact, a piece of the continent, an author whose career changed the face of your fiction.